Okay, I'm not very familiar with Project Project Melody. Obviously I've heard of her. I know that she's in V Shoujo. I know that she is a lewd tuber, or she does like lewd content. That's basically the extent of what I know about her. So I guess we're gonna be learning a bit about her today. The exploitation of Project Melody, blackmail, extortion, and harassment. Oh my god, what the hell? Jeez.
I love him.
Alright.
Happy feelings that we cultivated together. It's like an endless sea of good vibes. Etchy cat girls. I didn't expect any of that, and I love what we have made together. I have so many things that I can whip out and show you. Do you guys want me to show you something? Okay.
In the dynamic world of online entertainment, Project Melody has emerged as a trailblazer, with a unique journey transitioning from traditional camming to the virtual realm of VTubing. Her journey has reshaped the landscape of adult content creation forever. Project Melody made her debut on Chatterbait in early 2020, donning a 3D motion capture suit that challenged the conventions of traditional camgirl performances. Back then, a virtual camgirl was never heard of. Heck, even VTubers...
That is actually quite smart, honestly, because I think the market, like the adult market's obviously probably oversaturated, and being able to stand out like that is pretty smart.
Were an extremely rare case, especially on the western side of the world. The prospect of hand and waifus existed, sure, but they were simply products meant to be consumed through reading or watching. Never before you could get a virtual waifu to interact back with you.
Oh my god.
Melody's success was so immense that it triggered a swift response from the camgirl community. Her journey at her beginnings was marked by a mixture of curiosity and resistance from her peers and onlookers.
So the MMD community is small, and
because a virtual anime camgirl, Project Melody has been getting a lot of attention on the adult stream platform Chatterbait, and real camgirls are seething.
Weebs,
okay, I can't fucking read it.
We are a subculture. So I never expected to cause such a ripple that by joining an adults-only human website that there would be such calamity that it would drag in viewers off-site to there that normally wouldn't even be there.
Melody's popularity soared quickly. Her Twitter following skyrocketed as she gained hundreds of thousands of followers in less than a week.
That's crazy.
Her Chatterbait streams garnered immense attention in the tens of thousands of viewers.
I mean, honestly though, because it's smart. She found a market that was like, she found a niche. She found a particular market where there wasn't any like virtual, there wasn't any VTubers there. It's very smart. And also, let's be honest, lewd or adult content does sell, and if you find like if you're able to create a unique sort of niche within adult content, that would skyrocket you
in a matter of days.
So you have gained popularity so rapidly. The top Chatterbait girl by a landslide, over 100k followers on Twitter, and you have done this all in less than a week.
That's fucking insane.
How does this make you feel?
It's crazy. Like, who can expect to become a meme? You don't.
That's lost
you don't do it
pose?
on
Damn.
purpose. Like, the community has to decide for you. It's crazy.
The amount of viewers she would single-handedly pull on the website would crash the platform repeatedly.
Crash
on
it? Oh my
Valentine's Days
god.
alone, she had 30k viewers, something never seen before. And this event made Chatterbait go down for the holiday as well.
That's crazy.
Well, we have crashed Chatterbait a few times.
Oh wow, you actually broke the website. Holy crap.
Wow.
Melody was truly unique as she was the only camgirl VTuber to be on the website. To put it in perspective, the Chatterbait recommended section more room like this, and wouldn't even lead anywhere, as it would return an error page saying, sorry, we don't have any room similar to the Project Melody yet, because all the other camgirls were human. However, this success wasn't without its fair share of detractors. leading to the creation of various memes and attracting criticism from the public and from her peers alike. Let's be clear here, the adult industry is already generally frowned upon and perceived
100%, yeah. 100%, sex work and the adult industry is very much so, yeah. Frowned upon in, like, any aspect, if that's not, being a cam person, if that's the P-word industry. Actually, this video is gonna get, like, this video is already gonna get, restricted ads. I guess I will just say at this point, the porn industry, like, obviously that is, very like that could be, depending on the person or the individuals, that can be very much so frowned upon in any aspect.
as promoting unrealistic expectations. And don't get me started on anime girls. Oh god. I think we all know that no one can possibly live up to an anime girl.
No.
Although a lot of celebrities are getting dangerously close to these unrealistic proportions, there's just some stuff there that defies gravity. And that's fine. After all, there's a reason why a lot of VTuber fans would rather not see their Oshi's real face.
Yeah, that's
Personally,
true.
when I look at an anime girl, I enjoy it for what it is.
Right,
a drawing,
yeah.
pixels.
It's like a separated thing.
I don't take it at face value, but I understand that not everybody feels that way or acts that way. But with people already criticizing men for donating to girls on Twitch, so imagine their disdain when they realize that they're now donating to a girl that's not even taking her clothes off. Not only that, but people that
Honestly, I call it pretty fucking smart, to be fair. I mean,
know much about Project Melody also thought she was an AI, and it's got them even more pissed off.
Same one that was used on Chatterbait. All they did was switch the clothes around a little, but the 3D
oh my god!
model itself that was used on
that's
Chatterbait, that is
crazy.
also now on Twitch, was
I was like, that donation, jeez.
still sexualized. Like, they still made it so the model's boobs would jiggle a lot, and their shirt literally says fuck on it. And
The other set of backlash came from fellow camgirls who felt like Melody was having it easy. After all, she's not putting any makeup on, her real appearance doesn't really matter, she's not prone to things like aging, and she wasn't actually getting naked. Some of these girls had to work a full month for $500, and Melody was getting these amounts in a matter of minutes.
Right, yeah, but the thing is though, you could say that about literally any successful streamer in any context, right? I think that's extremely unfair to say, because you can say it in comparison to literally anybody. You can say, oh yeah, I've been working, for years or whatever, and I need to like work my ass off and stream for like 10 hours a day to even like make $500, and like XQC gets $500 just like that. Like, oh, Melody gets the she gets money just like this. Like that's I think that's unfair, because that's just like basically you could say about any successful streamer or content creator. You can say that about literally anybody, also like OnlyFans, like the top 1%. It's the same thing like streaming in any industry. So no shit. The person that's number one, or the people that are at the very top of any industry, if that's like the adult industry, if that's streaming, they make a lot of money. They obviously make a lot of money. That is like that obviously makes sense, and I feel like it's unfair to like say, oh, like it's unfair that I have to work so hard because the person that is on the top makes a lot of money. It's just like, bruh, it's just like they also worked hard to get where they got to,
There were the times we don't like real women anymore. What, you mean these virtual women go online and make money and I have to spend 3 hours putting makeup on? Yep. Get over it, whore. Your days are over. Your womb is drying up.
Oh my dude, this girl is fucking unhinged. Like this is holy shit. All I've seen of this VTuber, she's so unhinged, it's crazy.
My womb is
Sister has no filter.
Adding adding to that, there is also a sense of vulnerability when you're streaming yourself live, and even more so when you're not wearing any clothing. Sometimes as a streamer, you gotta deal with trolls or egregious viewers, and in those instances, it's sometimes difficult to not let it show or appear visibly concerned.
Right.
But when you're a VTuber, even when you're uncomfortable, you always look welcoming. And I think that part really
Right, I mean, like, the thing is, though, like, you can, like, it just makes sense that it worked, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, an anime girl being on that site when everyone else is just, like, a real, like, cam girl streamer or a real person on the site, inherently, like, obviously, they're going to do better. The funniest thing, though, would be if it was, like, I wish, this would be hilarious, if it was, like, a man. That'd be fucking, I would say that's fucking funny if, like, if Melody, like, in a hypothetical sense, Melody was, like, actually a guy, and she used, like, a voice change or whatever, that would be funny. I would call that, like, I would shake that person's hand if they did that. If they baited the whole chatterbait community in the site and they were actually just a guy, like, using, like, a anime, like, female model, I would honestly applaud that person. But Melody, I'm sure Melody is a woman. But yeah, I just think these complaints are stupid, because it's like, it's the same, you could say that about literally anything. Literally in any industry, it's like, yeah, it's unfair. It is unfair. The people that are at the top, the people that are successful, some people become super successful just naturally, just like that. Overnight, they blow up, and, you know, somebody else has been working for, like, 5 years, for 10 years trying to make it, and they never do, but then this person comes along, and they become successful, and they become popular overnight. It is unfair. It naturally is unfair. The industry isn't fair, and that's just kind of how it is, to be honest. Like, some people just naturally blow up, and I think people kind of just don't give Melody credit enough. It's like, she found a niche within, you know, the adult industry that would naturally gain attention.
struck a nerve with her peers because they felt like...
What are some of these?
And I think that part really struck a nerve.
I'm trying to work and I want to get tags and I have to go against this. What the fuck? I didn't know you were trying to get children on your site. I will quote... Where's CB? If this is gonna be allowed, why not help out your real models? I've been here for 5 years. Wait. Children? Wait, what? What do they mean? What? Oh my... Okay. Is she trying to make the connection that's saying, oh, because she's like an anime girl? That, like, that's for children? What is she trying to say? What? I'm confused what she's trying to say. What does she mean by... I didn't know you were trying to get children on your site. Is she saying that because she's like a anime, or quote unquote a cartoon, based on what this...
Uncomfortable, you always look welcoming. And I think
maybe because this I'm guessing maybe this lady is not really in the whole like anime culture and things like that. Is she trying to make the connection saying that, oh, she's like a cartoon, so because she's a cartoon that appeals to children, so that's why you're trying to get children? That's like that's a fucking weird thing to say.
That part really struck a nerve.
That's really fucking weird.
With her peers because they felt like...
Let's cam from my mirror today. Yeah, cause we can't show our actual selves and actually work for those viewer numbers. That's so... Okay. Like, yeah, I feel like this is just, like... Honestly... Like, inherently, I see this as, like... Yeah, like, jealousy or... Jealousy or things like that. Yeah. Like, yeah, no shit. Okay? Like, yeah, it's unfair. The industry, like, isn't fair. There are people that just naturally just become bigger, and it's like... And she definitely fucking worked for her numbers. She she did something you didn't do. She did something unique that you weren't able to do and adapt to.
She had it easy. Not only that, but workers have to live with the consequences of their work in many ways.
That's, yeah, I mean, I 100% understand, like, when you're, obviously, like, when you're, like, a real person, you're getting naked and you're putting yourself out there like that, there are innate issues that Melody doesn't have to go through, you know, obviously, like, people, like, judging their bodies, all these sort of things and issues that Melody doesn't necessarily have to go through and deal with because she's a virtual, like, quote-unquote cartoon, but I don't think that's necessarily her fault.
But workers have to live with the consequences of their work.
I'm gonna throw it into humans have to take breaks, rest. A computer-generated cartoon can be on all day. Well, I mean, it's a 3D tracking, so she is walking around every day with a voice recording rambling on in the background to try and give it some life. We, us humans, are putting in real hard work, killing our bodies for a living. I think these people just don't really I feel like these people just don't really understand the technology or like how this exactly works.
In many ways. People view them differently, they'll treat them differently, but also if they ever want to do something else with their life, their past will follow them forever. However, Melody possesses an avatar and a persona she can shed at any time and start over.
Right, that's the same as any VTuber.
To navigate the challenges that many in the industry face. Cottontail VA is one of the most prominent YouTubers nowadays, and she agrees with this. In a recent article from Dexerto, she says, "I am an acupuncturist, so if I want to someday work at a fancy clinic, they would do some research. I think I've covered my trail pretty good, but if they found out I did not safe for work stuff, they wouldn't let me into that
that's 100% true.
The carefreeness of having the safety net of still getting a job and not being blacklisted because I just did porn
that's
for
100%
nice.
valid.
I wish
that
it
is,
wasn't
that's
like
a valid
that,
thing
but you have to play the
about.
game. During an early interview with Vice magazine, Project Melody also expresses her sadness regarding the reluctance of other models to accept her presence. It makes me sad that other models don't want me there. I don't agree with the argument that because I'm safer and less likely to have stalkers, that I shouldn't be allowed
I agree that, like, I think it's unfair. It's like she shouldn't be allowed to stream, but I do understand how people can be like, you know, oh, like, that's, yeah, like, I understand how you would say, like, that's unfair in comparison, but saying, like, oh, you're not allowed to stream, I think is crazy.
Stream. I don't think camming is defined by the risk models take in their personal lives.
No.
I think it's defined by the content that they produce and the community they build around themselves. I think it's a dangerous precedent to tell future cam models that you are somehow less deserving of being a model unless you're putting yourself
that's
at risk.
By
November
true.
2020, Project Melody
yeah.
had reached new heights. She then decided to join VShoujo, a talent agency specializing in virtual YouTubers and streamers as part of the first generation of talents. Her genmates included prominent indie VTubers names such as Iron Mouse, Nyatasha Nianers, Zentreya,
that's crazy
and
that she
Silverveil.
joined.
The debut happened just a few months after Holomyth debuted to America, so VShoujo had pretty good timing in terms of introducing new VTubers.
That's crazy. Wow, that she like did that on like your Chatterbait and then went into like VShoujo. It's crazy to like, yo, like what VTuber should we pick up? The Chatterbait one's crazy. Or let's get the porn VTuber. That's kind of crazy, but honestly, I think it's smart, honestly.
Audience, and they were the first prominent VTubing agency based in America. The collaboration with VShoujo provided Melody with additional support, resources, and opportunities, further solidifying her presence.
I mean, honestly though, like a thing that you can also say, it's like what is like obviously good about what she did is that because she was obviously like a virtual model, a 3D like cam girl streamer, it gave her this opportunity. It was able to make a bridge for her to be able to cross over into like streaming on Twitch, which I don't think she would have had as much access. Obviously she wouldn't, and if she wasn't like a VTuber and able to get into VShoujo, which is like, I think Melody's like very smart.
In the virtual streaming community.
Mouse, kick my ass, please. I will buy Uno right now.
Oh, baby, I'll do more than just that. To your ass.
Project Melody's impact extends beyond her personal success. She played a pivotal role in popularizing the concept of VTubers within the adult content industry. Her unique use of technology opened new possibilities for performers seeking innovative ways to engage with their audience. Beyond simply talking or dancing, she also held interactive users experience streams where she let her chat control her vibrator remotely and even partner with the popular toy brand LoveSense, and they even made a video game for her. But Project Melody's most popular and important contribution is the entire genre she inspired with her success.
There's one sort of like thing that I can say also is like the gateway to being able to do what Melody did on Chatterbait. Obviously, to get that kind of technology obviously is pretty fucking hard and probably is really expensive. So like to just be like to those like, you know, other streamers like, oh, you're just behind on the time, just do what she does. Obviously, like, that's easier said than done. It's like, that's probably really hard to do, and I would say costs probably a lot of money.
Success, LootTubers.
Too early in the street for this much dick!
To Ada. Up and filled up. Look, sad.
Yeah. Cake.
An entire generation of VTubers destined to entertain all kind of horny viewers. Sure, LootTubers existed prior to Melody, especially on games such as VR Chat, but their popularity soared after people realized her success and the appeals to what she was doing. Remember when I mentioned there wasn't even a way to classify her when she first started on Chatterbait? Now there are so many LootTubers that there are entire websites dedicated to creating directories to help fans navigate them all. And unlike the regular 2D models you guys are used to seeing on this channel, I find the LootTuber genre interesting because they have a really wide array of avatars that they use.
That's
and they
interesting.
don't necessarily all fit the standard appearance of VTubers that we've come to expect from companies such as Niji Sanji or even Hololive. And one thing that I really thought was always a downside of L2D VTubers was how limited in the type of content you can make. So 3D modeling really remedies a lot of those movement restrictions. Nowadays, LootTubing has evolved a lot. This Dazed magazine article explains how they aren't limited to their VTuber selves anymore. If they're comfortable, there are many opportunities for LootTubers to make adult content, if that's what they want to do. If you guys want to learn more about LootTubers and the different struggles they face, I highly recommend my colleague's Licorice Banashi video
I might watch this at some point, yeah.
this topic. Behind the virtual avatar lies a poignant story, one of loneliness and a yearning for connection. Melody's decision to embrace virtual interaction and sexuality was rooted in a personal quest for fulfillment and a desire to bridge the gap between performer and audience. She talks about feeling extremely lonely and felt envious of those girls that got to interact with their fans every day. She built the Project Melody character to cure this loneliness with the help of a team, namely the model designer Digitrev X. Little did she know that the person who helped her build this passion project would end up becoming one of the sources of her biggest anxieties and fears. As fate would have it, success and financial gains often alter individuals, and unfortunately, in many instances, it can change the fabric of certain relationships.
Oh my god, what the heck is happening in this lore? What the hell?
To say that Project Melody's journey was marked by challenges was an understatement.
Oh, no.
Disputes with her former
Yeah, it's sad. It's like, yeah, and also there's also obviously negatives that come with hitting those goals or those dreams or those aspirations.
friend and business partner Digitrev X over commercial rights and controversies with companies like Waifu added layers of complexity to her rise. Chatterbait crashes, bans, and headline-grabbing incidents fueled an ongoing narratives of high and lows involving the internet discourse. And from what we know of the internet is that when something is a hot topic, everyone wants to add their 2 cents. On an innocuous day, Project Melody's channel out of nowhere just shut down and got banned without any explanation.
What?
Of
Wow.
course, everyone jumps to the conclusion regarding the nature of her content,
Like sexual
but she
content,
then
yeah.
revealed that her channel got in fact banned because she didn't own the commercial rights over her virtual body.
What?
The artist
But she's a part of the shoujo, right? So
with which she
how
had
would... Huh.
collaborated with in the past, Digitrev X proceeded to copyright claim every single one of her videos, claiming he was the rightful owner of her body. Remarkably,
What?
her channel was reinstated after...
Wait, how does that make any sense? How does that work? Like, isn't the whole concept of when you pay somebody to commission or make a model for you, like, that, like, you own it, you paid for it, right? How can you do that? It just sounds like somebody's like greedy or you know, hungry because they became successful or whatever. But I don't know, like I don't think that works. Does that work? How does that make any sense? How can you, like, you pay for it, you paid for the model and everything, and you got it commissioned and you got it made, and then they can come around and say, oh no, actually I own this, and ban you? I don't think you can do that.
After a mere 8 hours, but it was then that Melody revealed in a tweet longer that she had been dealing with this predicament for months on end. In there, she explains that despite weeks of public posts on Twitter, Melody initially tried to ignore the drama. However, as Digitrev intensified efforts to deplatform her, she felt compelled to respond, publicly sharing evidence. Melody then shared an invoice indicated she had paid $5,000 for her entire body and design.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, she commissioned it, right? Also, the PayPal receipts.
Voice indicated.
Yeah, PayPal receipts of the transactions. Yeah, and also, like I said before, yeah, like what I said, like also like about those people, it's like, oh, you can just, like, you know, just you're falling behind with the times, and you know you need to yeah, like, you need to do, you know, you need to go with the times and do what's happening here, like what Melody does. Like, something that you can add as, like, a criticism. You can say it's valid to other streamers who did have the criticisms. To spend $5,000 on a model, I'm guessing, obviously, before she even started streaming on the platform, inherently shows, like, some form of, like, okay, she has money, she has expendable income even before she started streaming, because obviously, I'm guessing, I don't know if maybe she made content before, but I don't know if she was making a lot of money before, but you know what I mean, like, not a lot of people can just drop $5K on a model before even starting to stream. Like, not a lot of people can do that. I can't do that. I can't drop that kind of money on a model and just, like, start streaming from nothing. Like, most people can't do that. So that is another sort of, like, gateway and thing you can say is, like, not a criticism, but you can say, okay, that's understandable how, like, yeah, most people, like, can't do this. But yeah, it's like, that's what I thought. Like, what you commissioned it, you paid for it, so you own it, right?
That she had paid $5,000 for her entire body and design. She showed messages between them confirming Melody's...
Say, hey, I'm filling out the copyright registration for Melody since we're so close to completion. I just need to know if you want to be listed in the registration as an author. I'm going to put myself as well. Yeah, just put, like, character design / modeler, haha, but you own the IP. That's crazy. What the fuck? Wait, so why the fuck did they do this then? It's like, well, if, like, are they stupid? Like, what are they trying to do? Like, if there's this proof that they're just lying, like, you can't do that. You can't fuck with copyright like that. Yeah, normally I would say it would qualify as a work for hire, but since we don't have a contract outlining that, it technically doesn't qualify either way. I can still hold the IP rights. I just also need to list the actual author. Yeah, I mean, with stuff like this, it's kind of like most entertainment industries, there is a author, creator, artist, creative type, but the IP owner and publisher is someone else. It's nice to have something to prove if we end up talking to someone to say, yeah, I helped. But in the end, this is yours.
His ownership of the intellectual property, but unfortunately for Melody, they never solidified this via contract, and that's where Digitrev X is biting back. The conflict took a complex turn when he proposed a partnership deal with this company, Giga Music Group. In her own words, Melody explains that at some point he asked if I would be interested in a partnership with this company, Giga Music Group. I was interested in hearing about the deal, but at that point, I hadn't agreed to anything. Only that I'd like to hear what they had to offer. Over the next few months, he still continued to help me with things, but refused compensation for it. Even though I offered to pay him often, he said it wasn't a big deal each time. The company later presented her with said deal for a mere fee of $40,000 per month for their services. They would partner up with Project Melody. Advised against the deal, Melody opted to work with...
Yeah, that's fucking insane. What the fuck? What fucking kind of services are they giving her?
Another company, leading Digitrev X to claim that she owed him because she didn't end up working with the company he wanted her to work with. Digitrev then started insulting her, so Melody offered to pay him for the free work he had done till now, which he still refused. The situation seemingly concluded for several months until Digitrev X resurfaced, demanding Melody's interaction with his new project, Waifu. The same company that recently was quite talked about for their involvement with the talent Waifu Baby, another 3D idol. Despite her reluctance, he insisted she owed him and vaguely threatened that he would go blab to Vice magazine. In a final attempt to end the harassment and threats, Melody reluctantly agreed to boost Waifu, provided Digitrev X signed a document affirming her ownership of the assets he contested. However, Digitrev responded with further...
So I thought about it. You can pay me 45k for my renders that you sold of mine and still have it all over your stuff. This will cover what you owe me for managing and all this random stuff I went way out of my way to do for you. If you want signed IP, you gotta credit me for the model I made for you. I don't care if you are out of space on your Twitter. I put a lot of work into your stuff and you benefited greatly from it. Otherwise, you would still be looking for some model. You can have the Tom IP and other toys if you quit the slander between Silver and Iron Mouse and quit with the black boiling. You will not get nobody's copyright ever. It's mixed with my own IP, Nan Oko, and I'm not giving that away to you. However, I will be fine with using it and will not be interested in copyright striking it as long as you comply with an agreement here and work with me on resolving this. After this, I will not talk to you again unless you start being shady. Also, tell your simps to leave me alone. I mean, honestly, it's your own fault because you're so you're being so unreasonable. Was not sold to you. You didn't even want to use it. You wanted H-stream idols or whatever. Not sure why you have Sid putting that on shirts. So for that, I expect 25% of the sales on that. What? Wait, how is he entitled to merch sales? What? These are my terms. I'm not going to give you all my efforts / signed documents for something that's not even policeable, like being morally good person comes to my future, and that was a terrible offer, and find someone that can model hair. What the fuck? So what the fuck is he even saying? So, like, what they're like, so they commissioned a model for somebody, and they're like, and they feel like they deserve compensation, or they deserve something because the person ended up being extremely successful. The person they made the model for, the person they commissioned the model for ended up being super successful. So because of that, they feel like they're deserving of compensation or money for, like, fuck off. Like, what?
Requesting then $45,000 and a 25% cut of all merch sales. This ongoing drama had taken a toll on Melody, which led her to the decision to finally block him after enduring continuous public slander. The Twitch ban stems from DigiTrevX's misguided belief that he owns Melody's virtual persona, despite evidence suggesting otherwise. DigiTrevX then in turn also took to Twitter to give his side of the story. Note that his tweet longer is extremely long, so I'll do my best to summarize this. Essentially, he recalls that when he started working on Project Melody, he did it in good faith and never intended to take on so much burden outside of the 3D modeling, saying he was directly involved in a lot of aspects of her career, including her success, and that it became a full-time job for him. He claimed he invested significant time and effort into Melody's project, going beyond the initial character model to provide ongoing support, tech solutions, and even creative assets. He says that he didn't realize how he was cornering himself because he was not able to work on paid jobs during that time, and that the whole time he was working on her projects, he did not feel the need to draw a contract as he assumed he would get paid for his services eventually. He briefly goes over her and her team talking to the Giga Music company, but doesn't provide any clarifications as to why the price offered was so high, which was the main thing I was curious about. There was also some doxing allegations thrown in the mix, as he explains that he wasn't the one who threatened to dox Melody, but it was in fact his DeviantArt account that was hacked, leading to the exposure of Melody's information and affecting their relationship. Post the launch of the Waifu project, DigiTrevX attempted to re-establish.
Obviously, I don't know if I can make a coherent like conclusion, because obviously there's a lot of information that it's like a small summary of like a ton of information, but I mean it still just seems like the price is just so unreasonable. Just doesn't really make any sense. I don't really understand. Okay, I guess but at the end of the day, it's like she still doesn't have to pay you, right? And you don't own the IP. But also, I just don't understand the merch thing. That makes no sense. I don't know why you would ever feel like you deserve, a cut of the merch sales. I can understand to a certain extent, okay, if you want compensation for the work that you've helped her with, but then like copyright striking her, it's like you can't do that. It's false. Like I don't know, like they've obviously like gone to just insane lengths for things.
Established communication with Melody, but noted a strained relationship due to Waifu's interaction with Melody's fanbase. He stresses that, and I quote, "never brought up her paid for main character model in any of these discussions. I was seeking something in return for the months of unpaid work I did during her growth period that I busted myself." End quote. After Melody failed to include and signal boost Waifu, he then adds, "I was starting to feel pretty sick that Waifu was seeming to be blackballed by influencers since Melody was alienating Waifu, so I decided to try to come up with a fair proposal to resolve this all at once and for all. I figured this is such a one-sided offer in her favor, surely this will be easy, because I wanted this over as well."
How's this a
Melody
fair? How's it a
agreed to
fair
this,
offer?
but after seeking legal advice, he then decided he wasn't happy anymore and wanted a monetary contract instead. He recalls being annoyed and offended that she would accept all of his work for such a little request, and that she wanted more.
What? Wait, that makes no fucking sense. He said he sent her an offer, then she accepted the offer, and then he asked for legal advice and then got offended that she accepted their offer. What kind of fucking crazy thinking is that? What?
More out of him. Ultimately, he ends the tweet longer, saying that the final straw for him was her using one of his assets, a hat she hadn't credited him for. And to all that, I guess I'll add something out of my personal experience as a freelancer IRL. When I work as a freelancer, I have a set rate. Sometimes I accept jobs below that rate under certain terms or conditions, because sometimes, you're like, well, a smaller amount is better than zero. Or sometimes simply because it's a passion project or a creative project you think will be worth your while.
Right, it's like you just like work it out. But sometimes like like you could get paid in exposure and things like that, you know, like for like freelance work, like hypothetically, like you did some extra work for a bigger creator and they like shout you out, that could be like, oh, worth it in the end because you get, you know, you receive more clients in the future, so that could be monetarily gain in that sense. But yeah, I think it just depends. It just, you have to communicate between the people, and like a lot of the time freelance work, there's no like set contract for those commissions, so it can be hard.
Once you've accepted those terms, you really need to live with it.
Right.
And if ever you want to renegotiate a new deal, you totally can, but you really need to advise your client throughout your process.
Yeah.
You can't just hit them with an insane surprise bill by the end of the process. That's my 2 cents on this, and it honestly saves a lot of trouble in the long run. Project Melody sparked controversy once again on Twitter, the platform where all the offended people are, by announcing a collaboration with Amaranth.
Well, she collabed with Amaranth? The hell?
Collaboration between the virtual streamer and the well-known worker and streamer Amaranth stirred discussions about the intersection of different online communities and the evolving landscape of content creation. Melody's decision to collaborate with a worker prompted debates within the community, highlighting the perceived hypocrisy of those who embrace adult content while simultaneously criticizing partnerships with individuals from the work industry. Or it could just be Twitter being Twitter and needing something to talk about again.
I don't really
Project
know.
Melody's influence extends beyond her individual success. Her journey challenged preconceptions and reshaped the online entertaining landscape. The legacy she leaves behind will continue to impact the evolving world of virtual interactions, showcasing the transformative power of innovation in the realm of adult content creation and VTubing. And that's all I have for this video today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're on the road to hit the 17k viewer milestone by the end of the year, and I need your help to get there. So if it's the first time or it's been a couple videos that you've watched, make it official, hit that subscribe button.
Okay, yeah, definitely do go and subscribe to Rima Evenstar. She makes incredible videos, so definitely do go and subscribe to her. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Didn't enjoy this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and joining me the channel on this channel. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. What were you guys' opinions on the Melody stuff?